Coming up on this edition of ATV News.
Hamas offers nothing but terror and bloodshed with no regard to who pays the price.
We'll show you how the war in Israel is affecting Utah.
We'll show you why they kicked people out of the mall and let this police dog in.
Just petting a dog is good for you.
We'll show you how these pups were giving more than just love.
Did the rain wake you up this morning? In weather, I'll show you how much more chilly it will get before the sun comes back.
Down in the first quarter again, I'll show you how the Aggies rallied to win this year's homecoming game.
All that and more. This is ATV News.
No justification for terrorism. There's no excuse.
Following Saturday's terrorist attack, Israel declared war on the militant organization Hamas. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Anna Johnson.
And I'm Paige Johnson.
President Biden responded to the attack, saying the U.S. will continue to support Israel.
Allahu Akbar!
An Israeli soldier yelled, "God is great," in Arabic as bombs fell in response to Saturday's surprise attack. Hamas's attack killed hundreds and displaced tens of thousands of people. Experts say this war has already affected each of us.
It's important insofar as 14 Americans were killed over the weekend, and some still remain missing that are suspected of being kidnapped in these attacks. And so it affects us as citizens, as students here in Logan, and also as people trying to understand international affairs.
Footage of the attacks is scattered all over the internet, and more attacks are happening every day. One of the Americans killed in the war is from Utah. Lotan Abir, a Utahn, was one of the 14 Americans killed by Hamas. Abir's rabbi is urging Utahns to come to the state capitol tonight at 5 p.m. to the Utah Stands with Israel rally.
The Cache Valley Mall in Logan is open again after being locked down because of a bomb threat Monday. Logan City Police Department evacuated everyone and put the mall on lockdown. A sergeant from Utah State University responded with the only explosives detection dog in the valley. Sergeant Murray says Zoomer uses his nose to detect where the explosives might be, but it can be overwhelming for him. As people use more advanced ways of calling in bomb threats, dogs like Zoomer may see more action, but Murray says they are prepared. Zoomer did not find any explosives. Police cleared and reopened the mall to the public. The Cache Valley Mall is not the only place to receive bomb threats in Utah. Shopping centers, synagogues, and the St. George Airport also received bomb threats on Sunday and Monday.
It's hunting season, and you may want to be careful where you plan your bird hunt this year. After an avian botulism outbreak, the Division of Wildlife Resources is warning hunters to keep an eye out for diseased birds. The DWR faces the problem of avian botulism every year, but they say this year is worse than normal.
The birds that are most often impacted by avian botulism are waterfowl, and we also see it result in shorebirds as well. This year, the birds that we are seeing the most impacted are ducks in particular.
Avian botulism happens when birds eat bacteria found in standing water. It causes them to get sick and then die. The Division of Wildlife Resources says to only hunt active flying birds, avoid hunting sick or weak birds, cook meat thoroughly to kill disease, and to keep your dogs away from sick birds while hunting. Jolly says if you see sick birds on the shoreline, don't pick them up or try to nurse them back to health. Just let them be.
When was the last time you struggled with your mental health? Yesterday was the World Mental Health Day, and Utah State's Counseling and Psychological Services wanted its students to know how to cope. Students at the TSC were able to make stress balls, color on coloring pages, and choose from a variety of essential oils for aromatherapy. Utah State's CAPS office hosted this Dare to Self-Care Fair and wanted students to know what they could do to get help.
A lot of people say, oh, I didn't know that that is an option, or I didn't know that that was a resource. And so being up and front and center and saying like, hey, we're here and we want to help you, I think is really important.
The World Health Organization started World Mental Health Day in 1992 in order to get rid of the stigma surrounding mental health. CAPS offers individual and group therapy sessions for students and faculty at Utah State.
The fair wasn't the only thing happening at Utah State for World Mental Health Day. The Cache Humane Society took over the quad with their furry friends.
Hi! Up!
Manticore here and his four-legged pals were getting all the attention from Utah State students. Cache Humane Society says they brought the pups to help students unwind and de-stress.
I just love seeing people like light up when they see a puppy or get to pet a dog. It just lifts your spirits because you know you're doing something good for them, they're benefiting from it, and then you can benefit from that. So really rewarding.
The National Institutes of Health says interacting with animals lowers stress hormones like cortisol, lowers blood pressure, and can make you happier.
USU kicked off the final day of homecoming week with True Aggie Night last Friday. Students and alumni gathered at the Block A late Friday night into the early hours of Saturday morning to become True Aggies.
I think True Aggie Night is significant because it's the oldest tradition that we have here on campus.
The tradition began in 1916 when the Be No Club was organized. Students would gather under a full moon and kiss to become a True Aggie.
I think it's a big thing with freshmen. I think it's a big initiation thing. Go out with your friends, kiss some random person.
And that wasn't the only homecoming activity the Aggies took part in over the weekend.
That's right, Paige. Some Aggies got up really early to race. Runners and walkers took off from the USU Credit Union on campus in the annual Running of the Bulls Homecoming 5K, kicked off this year by a very special alumni guest.
I think that one of the things that Utah State really taught me was just to believe in myself.
Team USA track and field star Cherie Hawkins ran for the Aggies between 2011 and 2015, when she became the most decorated female athlete in school history. Before the race, she told the runners the first step in finding success like hers was
showing up, and I was really proud of them for showing up today.
To follow Hawkins in her quest for Olympic gold, check out our Facebook page.
After finishing at Merlin Olsen Park, the runners had one final run to make it over to Main Street for the homecoming parade. Cache Valley residents and Utah State alumni lined Main Street for the annual homecoming parade to show their Aggie pride before that evening's game against Colorado State.
Well, this parade is big. We're shocked at how big it is this year.
The parade lasted just under an hour and a half, leaving plenty of time for Aggie fans to have some fun in Logan before the big game kicked off. Joining us here at the desk is Ryan Lawrenson with ATV Weather. Ryan, you were at the parade. How was it?
It was gorgeous on Saturday. Absolutely a lot of sun. It's gone right now, but I'll let you know if we're going to see that weather again.
Thanks, Ryan. And coming up.
Just an awesome, chaotic mess of energy.
We'll show you how one school is jumping into the fall season.
There's probably life out there.
We'll show you where you can find or where you can search for UFOs and why that search is getting dimmer.
This flower is soaking up some of the rain outside. The current temperature is 52 degrees.
is Dave. This is Bob. Dave took multimedia boot camp. Bob did not.
We need company headshots.
I've worked on headshots before and I would be happy to do it again.
We also need to finish our company advertisement video.
I already have a shot list and it's ready for you to approve.
Bob, would you be willing to work on our company podcast?
I would be happy to take care of that.
You're so prepared. You deserve a promotion.
Be like Dave and take multimedia boot camp at Utah State. Get experience in a little bit of everything.
It's not my first time bartending, so.
It's a sausage party in here.
It's fine. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam. Last thing,
Yeah.
is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is going to get a little bit loud in here. So your customers are going to have a hard time hearing you. So you may want to.
What?
Welcome to ATV Weather. I'm Ryan Lawrenson. Let's go ahead and dive right on into this national radar. Down here in the Gulf Coast area, you can see a lot of rain and wind activity happening. No need to worry, that's not a hurricane. But just plenty of rain and wind, normal for this time of year down in the south. Moving on over to the western part of the nation, we're going to take a look at the Pacific Northwest. You can see a lot of rain and wind happening as well over Seattle and Portland. Again, something that they're not super unfamiliar with at all. Moving on into the Intermountain West, you can see in Montana, there's a lot of rain over like the center part of the state. But moving down into Utah and Wyoming, there's been a lot of rain just over the last 24 hours or so. Let's go ahead and take a look at it in the state radar. Moving on into this state radar, you can see moving in from the Arches National Park area in the eastern portion of Utah, moving into Colorado is a big storm, maybe some of a little bit of what we got last night. Moving on over into the West Desert, you can see a lot of other scattered rainstorms, some big activity over Juab County and Tooele County. But moving on up here into Cache Valley, you can see a lot of the rain that we've been seeing today and will continue to see moving into the next day or so. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast to see what's happening with that. In the 7-day forecast, you can see again a lot of rain tonight moving into tomorrow, but that should really be it. A big chance of thunder and lightning to happen tonight. Be ready for that. Some really cool temperatures as well with that rain. The lows you'll see dipping as low as 33 degrees tomorrow. Friday and Saturday, things are starting to warm back up as we move closer to 60 degrees, even into the upper 60s towards the low 70s, moving on into Monday. Let's go ahead and move on back to Saturday, though. That sun that you see here, it's going to be 64 degrees, great weather. That sun might disappear for a little while because an annular eclipse is coming over Utah. You can see right here on this eclipse, it's passing over Utah. It's the first time since 2012 when one passed over Zion National Park. It's looking to pass over Capitol Reef, the Richfield area, a lot of central Utah, but really nothing super more north than that. If you're here in Cache Valley, you're not able to make it to central Utah for the eclipse this weekend, though, no need to fear. There's going to be a viewing party that Space Dynamics Lab and the College of Science are putting on. It's open to the public, and there's going to be a lot of really great activities with like some DIY eclipse viewing materials. There may be some solar eclipse glasses available as well, and there's going to be some solar telescopes out on the quad. Again, that sun should just disappear for about maybe no more than 5 minutes in central Utah. The weather in Richfield is looking just great, as it is all across the state. Now that you're all caught up on weather, though, let's hand it back to you at the desk, Anna.
Thanks, Ryan. Have you seen a UFO lately? It may not be because they aren't there. It may be that your porch light is too bright. I went to the USU Observatory and learned it's not just UFOs we're missing out on in the night sky.
That really bright one?
Yeah.
Yep, that's Jupiter.
That is the voice of David Hall. He works at the USU Observatory. You don't need to adjust your screen. It's so dark on the roof of USU's Science Engineering Research Building, you can only see his silhouette. That's on purpose. Every month, hundreds of people line up to look through the observatory's telescope.
Teaching people about the stars and how they work and what constellations are where and how to find them.
Cutting out all the lights down here. helps them see more in the night sky. These red lights show the way to the observatory.
You want to limit white light as much as you can.
The telescope works by gathering up light like a funnel and reflecting it off these mirrors. The more excess light it gathers, the dimmer the objects in the telescope appear.
We built the observatory here on campus where there's light pollution. The stadium has lights, but I'd say Legacy Field is probably our biggest light pollution problem here.
If it feels like you're seeing fewer stars every time you stargaze, you're probably right. Research from the journal Science says the sky is getting 10% brighter every year. All that light is coming from street lights, your car, and your home.
It is an issue. It limits what stars you can see. If you look at the lights around campus, they're mostly pointed down. Light that goes up in the sky doesn't help anybody see.
Coburn says he works with USU facilities to keep light pollution at a minimum each time USU puts up a new building.
They're trying to make campus friendly for light pollution.
Even with all the light pollution making it more difficult to see, Coburn says there is nothing like seeing a planet through a telescope.
You've seen pictures of Saturn all your life, but when you see it in a telescope, you go, wow.
Next public night at the observatory is scheduled for November 3rd. If you want to look through their telescope, be sure to get there early. When I visited, people waited for over 2 hours to see those stars.
Do you know how long it takes to get a scene ready for a pumpkin walk? These high school students are showing you what it takes. Fast forward, Charter High School's design for the pumpkin walk is Alice in Hip Hop Wonderland. For the last 7 years, Worrell's art class has created a scene for the pumpkin walk.
Every year it's just an awesome, chaotic mess of energy and creativity. The students do a lot of interesting things.
The pumpkin walk happens every October in North Logan. Different artists or schools create scenes from popular movies to events around the world and Valley. It is a free week-long event. This scene and many others will be on display next week at the Pumpkin Walk. You can check out our Facebook page for more details.
Whether you're scared of the animals that come out at night or not, you may want to visit the Hardware Wildlife Education Center for an up-close and personal experience with what they call the creepy crawlies at their new nightlife exhibit.
They will be out in the daytime.
Beavers, salamanders, snakes, bats, some birds, and other animals that are mostly active at night are considered nocturnal. This month, you have the opportunity to see them at the Hardware Wildlife Education Center, which is staying open late to show you animals that come out at night. They say they're holding these nights to help you understand why these animals are important to the environment and why you should care about them.
There is some creature out there in the wild that is going to be near and dear to a Utahns' heart. And we're here to help you discover those if you haven't already.
The center will also have free activities for families and kids to enjoy while they learn about the nocturnal wildlife in Utah. There will also be free activities for families and kids to enjoy while they learn about nocturnal wildlife in Utah.
Katie White is joining us from ATV Sports. Now, Katie, what are we going to see today in sports?
Well, I'll be showing you highlights from football, volleyball, and cross country.
Thanks, Katie. And coming up.
And I found myself absolutely crying.
We'll show you what these folks ate and why it had them in tears.
A lot of us grew up in the 80s and 90s. That stuff was cool. That's what we knew.
We'll show you how these classic vehicles and art pieces helped their owners collect money for charity.
Hello? Mom, you gotta stop this. I'm in a library, okay? What could happen?
Yeah, stuff happens. 1 in 4 college students end up in the ER. That's why you need Emergency. Everything you need to handle an emergency. Share important info with your family and friends. Feeling unsafe? Help is one tap away with Urgent Alert. Upload your insurance card and your medical consent form so your family can speak to medical staff. Download Emergency now while it's still free, before stuff happens.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this is CHIP.
For more than 100 years, American Humane has been on the front lines protecting animals in times of crisis. From Pearl Harbor to 9/11, the California wildfires, and the coronavirus pandemic, American Humane Rescue has provided life-saving assistance for animals in virtually every major national disaster. If you're anything like me, your pets mean the world to you. And if disaster strikes, you want to keep them safe. To prepare for an oncoming disaster, ensure your pet has secure and up-to-date identification. And if you must evacuate, remember to take your disaster preparedness kit with you. To learn more about disaster planning and how to keep your best friends safe, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Crowds were cheering at Saturday night's football game, but not before Colorado State got a 17-point lead less than 6 minutes into the game. Welcome to ATV Sports. I'm Katie White. Despite their slow start, Aggies quickly recovered after the first quarter. Here you can see one of the 19 passes completed by junior quarterback Cooper Legoff for a career-high 387 yards. Wide receiver Terrell Vaughn is one of the 3 players with 100 receiving yards in the game, the second time in school history. And here is one of the 2 interceptions made by sophomore Ike Larson, tying his career high and giving him 3 interceptions on the season. Aggies won the game with a 44-24 homecoming victory. Terrell Vaughn is back to terrorizing defenses after being shut out against UConn 2 weeks ago. Vaughn had 8 catches for 143 yards and a touchdown against Colorado State. He is now tied for 6th in the nation in both total receptions and receiving touchdowns. Vaughn is sitting on 46 catches this season, which means he's 56 away from tying Devin Tompkins' single-season record. That's 9.3 per game for the remaining 6 games. If the Aggies make it to a bowl game this year, that number changes to 8. The volleyball team had 2 matches this past week, the first against the Nevada Wolfpack. Excited chants were heard in the Wayne Estes Center on Thursday night as the University of Nevada's volleyball team went up against Utah State. We'll start here in the first set with Adna Medmedovic with one of her 13 kills in the game. A couple points later, senior Kelsey Watson blocks this kill from Nevada's outside hitter. Later in the first set, senior Kennedy Boyd smashes home this spike. The Aggies went back to Medmedovic again in the first set for another kill. The Aggies took the first set. They also took the second set. Moving into the third set, Nevada took a 6-5 lead and scored 2 more times, but a hammer from Medmedovic secured the Aggies sweep over Nevada with a 25-20 win. Crowds roared on Saturday as the competition amped up. Aggies faced off with the Fresno State Bulldogs. Fresno came out in the first set with Addison Haluska smashing this ball through the Aggies' defense. But the Aggies responded with a kill from Adna Medmedovic off of the assist from Leah Wilton-LeBoy. After a scramble by the Aggies, the ball ends up with Shelby Capion for one of her 11 kills in the game. Later in the first set, the Bulldogs get stonewalled by senior Kennedy Boyd and Capion. The Aggies took the first 2 sets. With Capion serving for the match, the Bulldogs can't control the ball as it falls out of bounds. Even with each set being close, the Aggies still came away with the sweep 3-0. This is the Aggies' second straight sweep. The volleyball team continued their winning streak last night, earning a 3-1 victory at Boise State. Aggies swept the team competitions at the Steve Reeder Invitational on Friday afternoon. USU men's 7K team took first place. Aggies Eric Nelson and Logan Garnica finished in the men's top 10. USU women's 5K team took first place. USU had 5 players finish in the women's top 10, with Malia Lowe and Sammy Lee in second and third place. USU women's soccer team won 2-0 against the University of New Mexico on Thursday. The team's 4-game win streak ended on Sunday with a 2-1 loss to San Diego State. The next games are Thursday, October the 12th and Sunday the 15th at the Chuck and Gloria Belfield. USU's golf team finished in 7th place at the Bill Cullum Invitational with a 54-hole team score of 34 over 898. Freshman Enrique Carg led the Aggies with 12 birdies, tying for 6th in the field of 84. And you're all caught up in sports. Back to the desk page.
Thanks, Katie. You might have to open the windows for some fresh air because this next story brings you the heat. ATV's Zara Nasir went to a spicy sauce festival to show you how the sauce makers say you can benefit from their spicy creations.
Yeah, I'll go hotter. That is the sound of a tongue fighting a spicy aftertaste, and these are some of the faces reacting to the heat at a spicy sauce festival in Salt Lake City.
It's only 3 ingredients.
Mixing 3 ingredients might not sound like much work, but this spicy sauce maker says otherwise.
We spend day and night making sauces in hopes of spreading our creations out to the greater audience.
It's not hot. Not hot at all? Although some of the chili dips here are lower on the Scoville heat scale, sauce makers say they are all packed with flavors.
A lot of the hot sauce makers here in Utah grow up learning how to make the flavors first, and then they make them very spicy.
This is the hottest sauce in this booth, and it's actually over 100,000 Scoville heat units. It is super hot and it's making me want to cry, but I'm sure I'm not the only person who'll be crying at this event.
The first 2 minutes after I ate it, I was like, this is not that bad. And then 5 minutes after it, the flavor came out and the spiciness came out, and I found myself absolutely crying.
This one's not too spicy. Sauces like seltzer are mild, but that's okay because vendors say different buyers prefer different heat levels.
Some of us stop at the spicy grocery store stuff, and others of us go all the way to the top, and we want to cry when we eat.
All my other flavors just got demolished today.
Most of the ice cream was finished before the event was halfway because people were buying it to help them cool down.
That's really good.
People shared their thoughts with the sauce makers after tasting their sauces, then voted for the best sauce at the end of the event. Zahir Nasir, ATV News.
The organizer says he hopes to see more people getting into the spicy sauce making business in Utah in the coming years.
How much are you willing to pay for a car like this? Or maybe an art piece to help donate for a charity cause? Culture Crash held their 3rd annual event, showcasing cars and auctioning art pieces, all in the name of giving back to the community. Revving up their engines, these car owners are getting ready to show off their cars at this car show and art auction event. Over 400 cars from all over the nation, representing 15 states, parked out on display for people to see. There were also art pieces being sold and auctioned at this event.
I think anybody keeping the car culture alive is good news for anybody that loves cars. It's a lifestyle for us.
Money collected from auctioning the art pieces will be donated to the Angels Hands Foundation to help sick kids. Kawahara says they need more tradespeople in their industry. He encourages you to join the community if you like cars. Sorry about those technical difficulties. And thanks for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
You can watch this and other editions on our Facebook page.
We'll leave you with some shots of Sauce Lake City.
Have a great week, Cache Valley.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox under the bed.
where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.